Hey mom, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Fortune and I'm a mom who transitioned from working a 9 to 5 to owning a business because I wanted to spend more time with my kids. If you're a new subscriber, I'd like to say that you're very, very, very welcome. And don't forget to click the notification bell so that every time I drop a very insightful video, you will be the first to know. If you are a returning subscriber, I just want you to know that you mean the world to me. Okay, with that being said, let's just cut right to the chase. Today's topic is a very sensitive topic, especially for parents or guardians. Growing up as children ourselves, there are a lot of things that happen to a lot of us that we don't feel safe or we don't feel comfortable talking about. At this point, you already know what the topic for this video. I'm going to try my best to use the right words. I'm going to try my best to maintain the right tone because it's a very sensitive topic, it's a very sensitive issue. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is sex education. Okay? A lot of parents like to shy away from this topic because they feel like they are spoiling their children talking about important things. Sex education is not going to spoil your child. You are teaching your child, you are helping your child know. Somebody once told me that whatever you don't teach your child at home, they will learn it outside. And trust me, you don't want that to happen. Be the first person to let your child know about the different body parts. Which one is private? Be the first person to let your child know about sex in general. It's not be open about these things. These are conversations that you must have. Don't use nicknames for these body parts. Call them what they are. Don't use nicknames. The thing about calling these body parts by their actual names is that they know the seriousness of it. You see? So that when the child goes outside tomorrow, or a child is in a situation where someone is trying to manipulate him or manipulate her, and the moment that thing is mentioned, there's a click in their head that no, this thing is serious, or this is not a joke, or it's not. He's trying to paint it to look small when it's actually a big deal. When you call things by what they are, you attach a level of seriousness to it. And the child understands from an early age that this is not a place to be toyed with. This is not a thing to be played with. Okay? Let's try our best as parents to be honest with our children when we are teaching them about their bodies. Let's try our best to be honest with our girls and our boys. Now, the second thing I'd like to say is this. As parents, if your kids are on social media, you're not supposed to be the one that your child is blocking on WhatsApp status. You're not supposed to be the one that your child is blocking on TikTok or blocking on Instagram because they don't want you to see what they are posting. As a parent, if my child blocks me from their social media, I'll feel like maybe I'm doing something wrong or I have to retrace my steps. Get your child to talk to you. Because when your child starts blocking you on WhatsApp, blocking you on Instagram and TikTok, you know that they don't want you to see what they are doing. And if they don't want you to see what they are doing, it's because what they are doing is not good. So maybe it's the way you've been approaching issues. Maybe it's the way you've been talking to them. Retrace your steps. Get your child to trust you. Be involved in their social media lives. A lot of pressure is being put on kids on social media. It's not looking as if maybe if a child is not sexually active, the child is not cool, or if the boy does not have a girlfriend, the boy is not cool, or if you're a girl, you're a young girl and you don't have guys running to your DM, causing a stampede, you're not cool. Be the one to tell your child the truth about these issues because you've been there before. Explain to your child that it's even better to keep your dignity. It's even better to be termed not cool because you're not falling into these world devices. It's okay. Teach your child to know That whatever, the fact that their colleagues or their mates are doing it, the fact that it's trending, the fact that it looks cool, does not mean that it's true, does not mean that it's good, it doesn't mean that it's safe. Another thing I'd like to point out is, for those of us parents who are fond of telling our kids to keep secrets, you're going to need to come back. You're going to need to change that. You're fond of teaching you're the one that started teaching your kids to keep secrets. Then when they start keeping secrets from you, don't know how to take it again. When you are opportune to have a conversation with your child, encourage that child not to keep secrets. Because you see, a lot of things thrive in secrecy. If your child is being manipulated by an adult or a mate or something, and the child is not safe to tell, or the child doesn't feel safe to tell you, or the child is not even talking to anybody at all, that thing will thrive. It will thrive. That's why you see all these things that happen in Lagos, or I think some other parts of Lagos, where people are hypnotized and then they ask them to go and steal money for them. They tell you, don't tell anybody. When they want to send you on horrible errands, they will tell you, don't tell anybody. That's where it starts. Encourage your child to speak up. And you see, I think it starts from the home. As a mom or as a guardian, you're talking to your child and you're like, don't tell daddy. Don't tell daddy. Don't tell your sister. Don't tell your auntie. What is it that you're saying that the child cannot tell another person? Because if you're not saying anything bad, then why can't the child talk to somebody else about it? The only thing you can teach your child is to know who to talk to, when to talk to, and how to talk. But encouraging your child to start keeping secrets. When the child starts keeping secrets from you, you will not know when the child has started having boyfriends or girlfriends. You will not know when the child has started, doing other things. Because you are the one that started to build the foundation of keeping secrets. So when it happens to you now, how do you want to know? How do you want to help that child? So that when the child is being abused and they tell the child, don't tell your mommy. If you tell your mommy, I'm going to do this. If you tell your daddy, I'm going to do this. The child will know from that moment that because you said this is the main reason why I'm going to tell. So if you've been telling your child to keep secrets, stop it. Stop it. So that the child will feel free to speak when he or she is being tormented, or when he or she feels unsafe, or when she is in trouble or he is in trouble. Okay? Parents who have younger children, like toddlers, little, much more younger kids. You're fond of sending your children to your neighbor's house because you don't want any child to disturb you. Why? Why? You are the one that gave birth to the child. You are the one that brought the child to this world. If God did not give you that child, there's no prayer points you will not pray. There's no tears you will not shed. Now that you have that child with you, you feel like the child is disturbing you too much. You now pack your children and send to your neighbor's house because you don't want disturbance. Or you go and play. Why? You don't know what happens where the child is. You don't know what happens where the child is playing. You don't know whether the child is being bullied by his friends. You don't know whether the child is being manipulated somewhere else. So you don't know who's trying to take advantage of that child. Stop sending your children to go and stay inside neighbor's house because you don't want anybody to disturb you. Now, I understand when the guardian or the parent is not available to be with that child. So you need somebody to step in for you. Now, this is what you do. When you come back from where you have gone to, engage in discussions with your children. What happened while I was away? Did anybody say anything to you? Is there something you like to tell me? Do you like going to so and so's house? Do you want to keep going there? Do you want to stop going there? There's some questions you ask. You send your child somewhere and you come back. You don't even want to know what happened where the child went. 10 years, 15 years down the line, you start seeing posts on social media about a child who has trauma from being abused sexually when she was younger, and you'll be there shocked because nobody told me. Why are you not? Why? See, a child might not initiate that conversation. You as a parent, it's your responsibility to call that child and ask questions. From questions now, you're able to gather sensible information, and then you build a ground for safe discussions between you and your child. So you were not around, your child was at home alone, or your child was with the neighbors playing. When you come back, try to ask questions. Oh, how was school today? You were playing today. What did you guys play with? How did you play? Where did you play? Questions like this, ask every single day. Ask that child every single day until the child grows to the point where once he or she sees you, he just starts telling you how their day went. Then you can know where to step in, what to encourage and what to stop. Stop sending your children to go and play, sending them to neighbor's house because you want peace of mind. Stop. Now, for mommies and daddies that want to, you know what I mean. Mommy and daddy that want to, and it happens that all of you stay in the same room. Can you please find a time where the kids will not be there and do what you need to do? Because I'm tired of hearing stories of children talking about how they woke up in the middle of the night and saw something. Why are they seeing it? Why? Learn to excuse the kids, or learn to excuse yourselves, or find a time where it's just you two before you do what you're doing. Stop polluting their minds. Allow these kids to maintain their innocence. There's some things they don't need to see. There's some things they don't need to hear. It's a privilege to have these children with us, to raise them and to nurture them. You have to do everything in your power as a parent, as a guardian, to ensure that they have the best upbringing possible, as long as it is in your means, as long as it is in your power. Do everything that you can. Read books, listen to videos like this, listen to podcasts, get information. Just do everything that you can to help your kids have a beautiful childhood and to maintain their innocence. What we fail to understand as parents is that a lot of children basically, when they grow, they learn by imitation. If they didn't see you doing it, they won't do it. Or if they did not see the adults around them doing it, they won't do it. So when they start doing it, you can't really beat them. You can't beat them. You can't blame them. You have to look back at yourself and ask, where did they pick this from? We are the first point of contact for these kids. So we on our part must be able to set ourselves in a position where they can learn. And I pray that for those of us who have been privileged to be parents, I pray that we have the strength and the right mind to do this parenting thing the way we should, the way God wants us to. Okay, thank you so much for watching my video, and if you've watched to this point, please don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like and drop a comment, and I'll see you in my next video.